Need a ride?
As far as I can.
Hop in.
Although I almost always enjoy the subgenre itself, I am often hesitant to invest my time in a comedy horror film. I don't really know why, because I enjoy both comedies and especially horror movies, but there's just something about the specific subgenre of horror that keeps me at bay. Perhaps I feel like the horror genre should be mostly absent of humor, or that the comedic scenes will take away from the scare factor of any given film. Nonetheless, I was immediately drawn into Vicious Fun, a Canadian feature by Canuck director Cody Callahan. To say the least, I was pleasantly surprised. There may be some minor spoilers ahead, so you might wanna skip ahead. Just thought I would warn you. Vicious Fun kicks off by introducing us to the main character, horror magazine writer Joel, played by Ontario-born Evan Marsh, who at first comes off as somewhat of an irksome loner who's kinda obsessed with his female roommate Sarah. In fact, it is his obsession with her that leads Joel to follow and confront the creepy blonde guy who dropped her off one night. Sarah's date, Bob, played by Canadian actor Ari Millen, turns out to be kind of a creep, as Joel learns while having drinks with him incognito at some random bar. Joel has far too much to drink and inadvertently stumbles across a sort of support group for serial killers, held in a back room of the bar he passes out in. Joel's mistaken for a fellow killer named Phil, and he runs with it in order to keep from being slashed to pieces by this posse of homicidal maniacs. However, his disguise comes undone when Bob shows up late to the meeting, revealing himself to be perhaps the most terrifying killer of the bunch. I don't want to go into too much details about what happens next, but just know that it's worth the ride. Callahan and screenwriter James Villeneuve do a wonderful job at keeping the viewer invested, although the actors need to be given some praise here as well, perhaps especially Marsh and his co-star Amber Goldfarb, who plays a sort of assassin named Carrie. However, most of the characters here are a blast to watch, including a trio of bumbling police officers who maybe take their jobs a little too seriously. My only real issue with Vicious Fun is that it didn't delve into some of the characters more than I would have preferred, namely some of the other serial killers. Some of them came off as uninteresting and even irritating in one case, though I believe that could have been avoided with some more background to these characters that already had such a fascinating intro. And some people might say that many of these characters are almost over the top, even passing over into the quirky territory, but I personally think it works here, for the most part. Although the plot has horror written all over it, Vicious Fun certainly comes off more as a comedy, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. There are plenty of genuinely gory scenes if that's what you're into, and plenty of twists and turns that really make this film a must-see. Toss in some stylish 80s synths to go along with its neon imagery. For the record, this movie is set in 1983, and you've got yourself a fresh and original story that is hands down one of the best horror-ish films of 2021 so far. Vicious Fun ends with a hint at a possible sequel, and all I can say is sign me up. It is available to stream right now as a Shudder exclusive. For the record, I'd give Vicious Fun 4.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, please feel free to like and subscribe. Take care.